Hi everyone, so this video is going to be my beginning of September updates. One major thing I changed this past month, or rather in August, is that I moved pretty much all my Cattleya lions under the lights, and that's because they grow too crooked over there. So I'm hoping that the direct light from the top will make them grow a bit more straight, and if there's any new growth, that it won't go into the pot. Alright, so this is my Dimophorchis Low Eye that I got at our summer show and sale. It doesn't look too good. I don't know if it's gonna survive. The leaves are pretty dehydrated. I try to water it regularly, but I haven't had it for that long, and we'll see how it goes. And this is my Dendrobium Sherry Abe, and it's pushed out 2 growths for me, so that's good. I do have to rotate it so that it grows a little bit more straight. And this is my Dendrobium antennatum cross. Honestly, it doesn't look that great, but the good news is I haven't seen any thrips. Actually, I haven't seen any thrips recently on any of my plants, so that's a good sign. But I will probably kind of divide it and repot it in a smaller pot, because I think the new growths just aren't getting their roots into the media. And this is my Stanhopea, and it's pushed out a new growth there. It actually pushed out a new growth on the side, but it died, so I wasn't sure if it was going to push another one, but I just saw this one just now, so that's really good. And this is my Aerides quinquevulnera, and it's still in spike, so that's good. And in the back there you can see I moved a couple of my Paraphalaenopsis seedlings to replace the Masdevallia. These are the other Paraphalaenopsis seedlings, doing pretty well. And that's the other one on the kulog, also fine. This is my Phalaenopsis subparishii, has 2 spikes. Hoping they will actually bloom for me. You can see at the bottom there's a brown dried out spike, and that was relatively new but has since dried out. But the one in the leaf crotch there on the right, that's even newer, so I think that one is replacing that brown spike. Alright, so this is my Masdevallia amplexa, and as you can tell, it looks pretty bad. The leaves are really splotchy. So basically what happened was I found thrips on this one day, so I sprayed it down with Safers, because it's really good at killing thrips, and ever since then it's looked like this, so it doesn't look great. But the good news is there's one new leaf that does not look splotchy, so I think it's possible that this will be okay. This is my Clowesia Northen, and it has an ongoing spider mites problem, so even though I keep spraying it, they always come back. And this is Clowesia Alaena Lawson crossed with Ctsm tigrinum. And basically what happened was I didn't water it because the growth was so small, but the problem was that it was drying out and these were super shriveled, so I started watering it and now it's growing properly. So compared to the other Ctsms, it's very behind, but it seems like it's making progress, which is good. And this is my Ctsm gladiatorium cross, and it has 1 flower spike. Not too many flowers, but that's okay. And these are my Vanda lucastele seedlings, and they're looking pretty good. So far, no signs of thrips, but they have a habit of always coming back, so we'll see if that continues to be the case. And this is Masdevallia cucullata red form. As I mentioned earlier, I moved all my Cattleya lions under the lights so it can grow more upwards. This is the latest growth. This is my Aerides Bangkok sunset. I haven't had any luck really blooming this, but one thing I noticed was that recently it pushed out a lot of new root tips, and it has pretty good root growth now, which is great. And it's pushed out this new leaf. This one it had also pushed out, but it wasn't, I mean, compared to the old leaves, it's not as long, so hopefully this will grow out more and hopefully I can get a bloom on it someday. And this is my Ricky Perez. It's also been doing pretty well recently. You can tell that it's had a few growths where it wasn't very good, but the newer leaves are starting to become longer now, so I think that's a good thing. And this is my LC Supersonic Striking Lip, and it's pushing out a new growth, so it's good. And this is my Epidendrum ciliare, which is, or has pushed out a new growth. You can see it's gone down a little bit before going up, and that's because it was at the window, so I'm hoping the light will fix this. And this is Gongora Portentosa, so it has this growth, and it's pushing a new growth over there. And these are my Dedrobium Tobiancy seedlings, and they're looking pretty good. I think that one over there is really not alive, so I should probably just get rid of it. So I have 3 survivors left, which is not a whole lot, but it's okay. And that's my Bulbophyllum Princess Bejaratana, and it's pushing out that new growth. Recently, or relatively recently, another member of my Orchid Society who also has this plant was able to bloom it, and I've had a few buds and spikes but no blooms. And one thing he mentioned was that it needs high humidity, which I understand, but I'm really struggling trying to get high humidity. I try to spray everything down, but evidently that's not enough, I don't think. Or maybe it will bloom, but just hasn't. Maybe it's not strong enough. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm thinking about getting a cabinet just to really have a high humidity or super high humidity environment for some of the plants. And last but not least, these are my Dendrobium lowii seedlings. And they're doing pretty good so far, actually. Lots of survivors, nothing's dead. I think what really helps is this cover. So I have this clip here just so it's not airtight. So it's relatively closed most of the time with a small air gap. And I think that really helps with keeping the humidity in, but also with some airflow. And I keep this in my bedroom because I'm just paranoid that if there are any thrips that I don't see in my collection, then these guys will be safe, and I really don't want these guys to get infested. Alrighty, so that's my video for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!